ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. In the name of Almighty Allah, who is most merciful, most gracious, omnipresent and omnipotent, esteemed guests, dear fellow listeners, I wish all of you with the Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It gives me an immense pleasure to give an introduction on the 5 pillars of Islam. The 5 pillars of Islam, or which we call Arkan al-Islam in Urdu, are 5 basic acts in Islam considered mandatory by the believers and are the foundation of Muslim life. They are summarized in the famous book called Hadith of Gabriel. They make up Muslim life: prayer, concern for the needy, self-purification, and the pilgrimage. They are: the first one, Shahada. Shahada means declaring there is no God except Allah and Muhammad is Allah's messenger. Salat, ritual prayers 5 times a day. Saum, fasting and self-control during the blessed month of Ramadan. Zakat, giving 2.5% of one's savings to the poor and needy. And the 5th one is Hajj, pilgrimage to Makkah at least once in a lifetime, if he or she is able to do so. As mentioned in Bukhari, book number 2, hadith number 7, narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's Apostle said, Islam is based on the following 5 principles. First, to testify that there is no deity. Deity means owing the right to be worshipped. To testify that there is no deity but Allah and Muhammad is Allah's messenger. The second one is to offer the compulsory aggregational prayers dutifully and perfectly. The third one is to pay zakat, that's obligatory charity. And the fourth one is to perform Hajj pilgrimage and to Mecca. The 5th one, to observe fasting during the month of Ramadan. Shahada. It is a declaration of faith and trust that professes that there is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is God's messenger. Kalima is a statement normally recited in Arabic, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except God, and Muhammad is Allah's servant and messenger. Reciting this statement is obligatory in daily prayer, salah, as well as other occasions. It is also a very key part in a person's conversion to Islam. The second one is prayer, or the salat. Salat is Islamic prayer. Salat consists of 5 daily prayers according to the Sunnah. The names are according to the prayer times: Fajr, dawn; Zuhr, noon; Asr, afternoon; Maghrib, evening; and Isha, night. The first prayer is performed before sunrise. That is called Fajr. Zuhr is performed in the midday after the sun has surpassed its highest point. Asr is the evening prayer before sunset. Maghrib is evening prayer after sunset, and Isha is the night prayer. All of these prayers are recited while facing in the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca and forms an important aspect of Muslim Ummah. Muslims must wash before prayer. This washing is called wudu, or the purification. The prayer is accompanied by a series of positions, including bowing with the hands on knees, standing, prostrating, and sitting in a special position, not on the heels, nor on the buttocks. Saum, or the fasting. 3 types of fasting are recognized by Quran: ritual fasting, fasting as compensation, repentance. Both of them are mentioned in Al-Baqarah, and the ascetic fasting mentioned in Al-Ahzab. Ritual fasting is an obligatory act during the month of Ramadan. Muslims must abstain from food and drink from dawn to dusk during this month, and ought to be especially mindful of the sins. Fasting is necessary for every Muslim that has reached puberty, unless he or she suffers from a medical condition which prevents him or her to do so. The fast is meant to allow Muslims to seek nearness and to look for forgiveness from Allah, to express the gratitude and dependence on Him, atone from their past sins, and to remind them of the needy. During Ramadan, Muslims are also expected to put more effort into the followings of teachings of Islam by retaining the violence, anger, envy, greed, lust, profane language, gossip, and try to get along with fellow Muslims better. In addition, all obscene and irreligious sights and sounds are to be avoided. Fasting during Ramadan is obligatory. Fasting during Ramadan is obligatory, but is forbidden for several groups, for whom it would be dangerous and excessively problematic. These include prepubescent children, those who with a medical condition such as diabetes, elderly people, and pregnant or breastfeeding women. Observing fast is not permitted for menstruating women. Other individuals for whom it is considered acceptable not to fast are those who are ill or traveling. Missing fasts usually must be made up for soon afterwards, although the exact requirements vary according to circumstance. One of the most important pillars is zakat, or the alms giving. It is the practice of charitable giving based on accumulated wealth. Zakat is obligatory for all Muslims who are able to do so. It is the personal responsibility of each Muslim to ease the economic hardships of others and to strive towards the eliminating of inequality. Zakat consists of spending 2.5% of one's wealth for the benefit of poor and needy, like debtors or travelers. A Muslim may also donate more as an act of voluntary charity, which we call sadaqah, rather than to achieve divine reward. The 5 principles that should be followed while giving the zakat are: first one, the giver must declare to God his intentions to give zakat. Second, the zakat must be paid on the day that it is due. Third, payment must be in kind. This means if one is wealthy, then he or she needs to pay 2.5% of their income. If a person doesn't have much money, then they should compensate it in different ways, such as good deeds and good behavior to others. The fifth one is the zakat must be distributed in the community for which it was taken. The fifth pillar in Islam is the Hajj, or the pilgrimage to Mecca. The Hajj is a pilgrimage that occurs during the Islamic month of Dhul Hajj to the holy city of Mecca. Every able-bodied Muslim is obligated to make the pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in their life. When the pilgrim is around 10 kilometers or 6 miles from Mecca, he or she must dress in ihram clothing, which consists of 2 white sheets. Both men and women are required to make pilgrimage to Mecca. After a Muslim makes the trip to Mecca, he or she is called as Haji or Haja, one who has made pilgrimage to Mecca. The main rituals of the Hajj include walking 7 times around the Kaaba, termed as Tawaf, touching the black stone, termed as Istilam, traveling 7 times between the Mount Safa and Mount Marwa, termed as Sa'i, and symbolically stoning devil in Mina, termed as Rami. The pilgrim or Haji is honored in Muslim community. Islamic teachers say that the Hajj should be an expression of devotion to God, not a means to gain social standing. The believers should be self-aware and examine their intentions in performing the pilgrimage. This should lead to constant striving for self-improvement. A pilgrimage made at any time other than the Hajj season is called an Umrah, and while not mandatory, it is strongly recommended. Also, the people who do Umrah make a pilgrimage to the holy city of Jerusalem in their alms-giving feast. So this was the introduction to the 5 pillars of Islam. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.